Hello again, everyone. Age of Dune here, and we're back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. This one is actually between two different teams. We've got Battalion versus Next Generation. Next Generation is actually the team that I originally got into this for because it has RF Legendary and GG Jessica Jung in it. I haven't cast a GG Jessica Jung in a long time, and RF Legendary in slightly less of a long time. But I've really been wanting to go ahead and cast one of his again. So I was actually watching on Twitch when he was streaming and everything. He quit about 20 minutes ago. So it was kind of hard for me to be sure that I could get into this one. But he said that he was coming back in 20 minutes to his team while he was online. So I figured it would be safe to go ahead and get in right about then. So I was just keeping an eye out on his casted-in profile to see when he got in game. And he finally did manage to get in. And we'll see what ends up happening here. He's actually been doing a lot of other top lanes, I've noticed. I mean, obviously, it's not really all that surprising, given the fact that he is in an LCS, well, a Challenger Series team now, and he's trying to get into the LCS. You're going to see anybody who's actually trying to get into the LCS, you're going to see them branch out their characters a lot. I mean, everybody knows that his best character is Nidalee, or it was Nidalee. So if he actually made it into the LCS with that champion pool of Nidalee, Nidalee's going to get banned. So he's been working on that a lot over the past, I would say month or so, if not more. I'm not even sure how long, but I do know he's been working on it quite a bit. Just trying to make himself into a better LCS professional player and everything. I'd really love to see him getting into the LCS. I've been following him for quite some time. Honestly, he's a great guy. So we'll see what ends up happening there. And yeah, GG Jessica Jung down here, I know we've seen him, him, technically, I believe it is, before. I know it's been requested on my channel before, and it's been a while since I went ahead and did that again, so we get to see that again. They're all in a team together, so that's kind of awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the players here. We've got RF Legendary top, playing Renekton, not played by Renekton, that would be silly. He's going to be against, interestingly enough, Zach, played by Shotgun109. I haven't seen Zach top in a really long time. In large part because of the nerfs that he got, so that anytime he uses a skill, used to, I mean, his bloblets would usually bounce away from the enemy. Now they will almost always end up somewhere between him and the enemy, which really sucks. Not always, but a lot of times, from what I understand, is they'll end up there. And when you're playing Zac, everything, you need those bloblets. Like there. You need those bloblets to sustain because your abilities cost health and everything. And when they bounce between you and the enemy then can then get massive amounts of harass off on you. And it's really painful. Ooh, wow, this is a nice little engagement down here. Let's go back a little bit, as we did see Syndra here take some damage earlier from Ziggs. So it's a pretty heavy battle game here. There we go. He's just getting her with auto attacks there. She's doing a little bit back, but obviously that Ziggs passive makes him do a lot more. And then he lands that Q on her. This is a Q, right? Yeah, that's his Q. And that took out a big chunk of her life as well. But she's actually doing quite a bit of to him as well. She hit level 2 first, I believe, and she went ahead and stunned him and ignited him as well. But she was forced to flash away because he popped his barrier there. And that means that he's actually up a summoner spell. There's a very nice barrier pop by him, just completely negating a lot of that damage that she did, and it definitely shut down that engagement that she was doing there. We've got Lee Sin, was probably thinking about coming top there. He was picked up by a ward though, and there are 2 wards here as well, so Ziggs is going to see this, and he's gonna have to back off. Oh, Syndra's setting it up, though. If she can land a stun on the Ziggs, there we go. Lee Sin's going in, lands that Q there, but there's the pop-up from the Ziggs, and Ziggs is actually able to do quite a bit of damage. In comes the Wukong, doing a lot, and down goes Syndra. There's the first blood there, and Lee Sin's actually on the complete wrong side here, so he's in a little bit of trouble. He's forced to flash there. He's got that red buff burning him, but he's gonna escape this. And in the meantime, down bottom, GG Jessica Jung doing work with Meat Mash. There we go. Thresh pulls out the stun there, and then the Dark Binding lands from Morgana. Lots of damage going down on Thresh right there. He flashes to try to get out, and There we go. Morgana goes ahead, flashes forward. The Ignite is on Thresh. It's gonna take him down, I guess? No, it doesn't take him down quite yet, but he's getting really low. Another Dark Binding from Morgana. There's the barrier from Lucian. Not really gonna do enough there. She goes down to Lucian, but GG Jessica Jung is able to get that last auto attack, and down goes both the Thresh and the Lucian, which is not at all what you want to see. Having your enemy ADC get a double kill there, not a good thing at all. So already a very powerful start here for next generation versus Battalion. There we go. Wukong going to go ahead and tower dive this. Going to finish off that Lee Sin and grab his double buffs for himself, which also not so good of a thing for the blue team there. But see what ends up happening. Zac is checking it out there. Going to go ahead and ward up that bush. I cannot say I blame him at all. Do not want to get engaged on by an angry Renekton. And it looks like Syndra's actually kind of chasing down the Wukong. Well, it did force him back, and he actually got really low. It would have been really good for her if she had managed to kill him, because it would have been really nice to have that blue buff, as well as the red buff, but especially the blue buff, because that blue buff is so powerful. But it did not end up happening, so instead she just chased him off the lane, and he went back to jungle. There we go. Alright, so mid lane, we've got Syndra, played by Air. Yes, we're going to go with Air. She's going to be against Ziggs, played by Fast Scriptor. Of next generation. Oh, obviously. A little bit of a battle there between the two of them. Fast Scriptor is actually taking quite a bit of minion damage there. And that range from Syndra is giving her the opportunity to poke him down under the tower as well, without taking damage herself from the tower. But of course, Ziggs has the same ability. So we'll see what happens there. Alright, down bottom, we've got GG Jessica Jung playing Caitlyn versus Lucian, played by Neko. The supports, we've got Thresh, played by Paramedic, really. And he's going to be against Meatmash, playing Morgana. Ooh, in goes the Wukong here for a gank onto Syndra. Thank you, the auto watcher. And she is going to go down to that Wukong. And Wukong is now on a killing spree there. So that was a very nice gank there. I think, yeah, she didn't even have flash. She did land a stun there, but it was not quite good enough. And now we've got Zac actually trying to, I don't even know what he's doing. Oh, he was trying to get to Lee Sin. Okay, and that puts RF Legendary well out of position here. He's going to try to get back. Actually, no, he's just kind of hanging around. And Zac is forced to flash there. Going to jump back in. RF Legendary manages to take down the Lee Sin. Now Renekton just hit 6 off of that. And he's going in on the Zac. Down goes Zac as well. Let's watch that whole engagement, because that was pretty amazing. Alright, there we go. Zac is hanging around, right around half health. And Renekton's sitting there. He's level 5, as you see here. He knows he's really close to being level 6. Not quite there, but, you know, he's close. So he's doing his damage to Zac. He sees Zac go the wrong way, and he knows something's up. But, you know, he's going to stick around, and he figures he can actually go ahead and take down Lee Sin, because he is really strong. He goes ahead, uses that Q, which gives him life back, and it got rid of pretty much all the minions. So we see RF Legendary's in the middle of a whole bunch of his minions, just completely allowing those minions to just destroy the enemy team. There we go. He turns back around onto Lee Sin and hits 6 off of that. That lets him go ahead, ulti, and go in onto that Zac, and that Zac goes down fast. That was a great play by him. I really liked the clearing of the minions there, because it did allow him to get that sustain, and also, like I said, it made it so that there's an entire wave going in on the enemy there, which really benefited them a lot. Thresh lands a pull there onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn is ignited. She pops her barrier there. Thresh is getting low. Lucian's doing his best to take down Caitlyn. Caitlyn does not go down. She's able to get out of that. But now they're turned around onto Morgana, who's trying to get out of this. Caitlyn's hanging around in the back, trying to do some damage herself. And Lucian turns around and goes back in on her, and she's forced to run. They did peel away from Morgana, but she's taking a lot of damage. Nice net there from her, and there is the Dark Binding there from the Morgana, and that is actually going to let them get out of that. That was a great play by them. I really liked the kiting there of the Caitlyn. I mean, Lucian's coming at her, and she timed it just right so that 90 caliber net hit him and punted her away, so that was very well played. Alright, we'll go ahead and take a look at the junglers now. We've got Lee Sin, played by Black Chevy, versus Wukong, played by Not So Sleepy, with 2 Ys, because Ys are important. So, alright, those are our teams. I'm pretty sure they're fairly high elo. I'm not completely certain. I don't know exactly what both teams are, but I do know RF Legendary was Challenger last season. He's been Challenger this season. I'm not sure if he is right now. I know he fell out a few days ago. But I think he might be back in by now. Who knows? I could easily check, I guess. But instead, we're playing the game, watching the game. A little bit of action there. Ziggs forces the Syndra off lane again. And Zac is now back up here. And going to do a little bit of damage to Renekton, but take more damage. And Renekton's being evil and stepping on all of Zac's bloblets. That, by the way, is a large part of what I was talking about earlier. The fact that those bloblets go between you and the enemy means it's fairly easy, anyway, for your enemy to go ahead and step into your bloblets, which gets rid of your regen, and it makes it a whole lot more painful to go ahead and lane as Zac. And, you know, it's really destroyed his laning phase, so you very rarely see top Zac anymore. Used to, it was a fairly common thing, especially in the LCS and everything, but since that nerf, I very rarely at all see Zac. I see him in the jungle sometimes. I played him in the jungle, although really I've not been all that impressed with him in the jungle, although that could equally be me as a player instead of Zac. But I do know I have not done too well as Zac in the jungle anymore, whereas I used to do very well indeed. So I'm kind of sad about that, but, you know, I've started trying to pick up other junglers, because I do enjoy them. Lee Sin coming in for a gank up here, and he's going in on Renekton. Renekton goes ahead and ults, going in on the Lee Sin. Lee Sin's getting really low, forced to jump out of it, but he goes down to that flash, and now it is Zac versus Renekton. Zac's getting really low here. He goes ahead and bounces him up. There is the passive there from Zac, and Renekton's going to go ahead try to take down some of these bloblets. I don't think he's going to be able to take them. Oh, he does take them all out, and he gets out of it. That's pretty impressive. So that is the second gank in a row that RF Legendary turned into a double kill. So he is just rocking it on Renekton. I'm very impressed. Definitely learning the Renekton, and you know, I think he's got a new champion that he's actually really good at. So that's quite nice. The dragon in the meantime was done there. There's the flash there from Morgana, landing that ulti. Down goes Thresh to the Morgana. Lucian's doing some damage to her, but he's being forced to back off by Caitlyn here. And there's her ulti. Lee Sin's going to go ahead and tank it. He's going in on her. The Q misses her. In goes the Wukong. Going to go ahead and ulti as well. These guys are popped up. He gets up the tower, so he goes down to Lucian, and that is shutdown gold to the blue team's ADC, Battalion's ADC. So, not really ideal there for next generation. They would have much rather gone ahead and not lost Wukong to that, but, you know, it happens sometimes. There's a really good counter gank there by Lee Sin, and oh, he just flashed. He's going in on the Morgana, gonna go ahead and finish her off, but he goes down as well to Caitlyn, thanks to the tower shot. But I really like the jump flash there, and probably could have gone a little better though, because he did get pulled under the tower there, took a tower shot, and Caitlyn was able to go ahead and finish him off. RF Legendary's up here, gonna go ahead and proxy this wave, and let Zac choose to either tank it, or just, you know, let his tower take damage. As the tower's already really low, he probably doesn't want to do that. Yeah, he's actually gonna go ahead and tank it. So there we go. He does have the sustain for it, and this actually does allow him to get the easier sustain as well, because he doesn't have to worry about anybody stepping on his bloblets, which is really obnoxious to deal with. There we go. He's going to go ahead and push this wave back. He did actually come out a little bit behind in health, but it's not really too big of a deal. There's another bloblet being stepped on there by RF Legendary. I think that was a taunt there from Zac. Another bloblet. He doesn't end up stepping on that one, though, so that is a little bit more health there for Zac. In the meantime, we've got Ziggs keeping this Cinder pressed all the way to the tower. He takes a tower shot there, but nothing too big. But he's got her tower actually really low, whereas she has not done much damage to his at all. It's fairly common for Ziggs. Ziggs is really strong at doing so. It looks like she's setting up for some sort of thing here. She's getting a lot of balls put out, and is her ulti up? Her ulti is up. There we go. She goes in, misses the stun, going to go ahead and put down another ball, and because she missed the stun, she's going to go ahead and not actually engage this quite yet. She does have ulti, so if she does manage to land a stun, she'll probably go ahead and try to delete that Ziggs instantly. But Wukong is setting up, and there we go. He goes in and just ults, and down she goes. She was just coming over to go ahead and ward up, and unfortunately for her, he was already waiting in that bush, and as soon as she got in range, he went in. Nice dark binding there from Morgana. That gets a lot of damage onto Thresh there. The net lands as well. Lucian tanks the ult from Caitlyn, though. Out comes the culling, but the Morgana was able to finish her off, and oh, the Q from Caitlyn is able to finish off that Lucian. And up top, a little bit of a fight here, nothing too big. And now we've got the red team, Next Generation, actually invading here. Lee Sin forced to go ahead and kick Wukong away, and a lot of minions going into this tower. They may end up going ahead and taking it down. I would not be at all surprised. I think Dragon should be up in probably around a minute and a half, just based on what it feels like to me, but I could be wrong. We'll see in approximately 30 seconds if the Dragon timer pops up, because that is when that pops up. RF Legendary going to go ahead and tower dive up here. See, he's at full health there. And obviously we saw his ult go in, and he actually did quite a bit of damage beforehand. So there we go, he goes in, the jump, the ulti there from Zac comes out, does quite a bit to him. That CC, nice flash there from Zac, and it is going to mean that RF Legendary is going to go down to this. That was a really nice dance around the tower there by that Zac, keeping himself alive long enough so that he didn't, well, he still died, but he didn't die in vain. And that was a really good escape there from Ziggs going over that wall. I didn't even know that that range went that far. That was kind of amazing. Let's see. Good on him. Gonna go ahead and let the Lee Sin come in. He plants... Actually, the Lee Sin's forced to fall away. And that thing launches you far. I didn't even realize that. And in the meantime, Wukong's coming back in. Gonna go ahead and use that clone there. Getting out of this with no problem. And actually, he's gonna go back. Oh, okay, the... jump there from Lee Sin. Gonna go ahead and shield up the Cinder and get out of there. And in the meantime, down bottom, we've got more action again. There's no tower here, so I'm kind of surprised they were able to do that. The Q comes out there from Thresh. Gonna go in on that. There's the ulti as well. Morgana getting low. The Q comes out from GG Jessica Jung, doing quite a bit of damage to them. Morgana's getting really low. Lucian is actually able to finish her off, but the kill actually goes to the Thresh due to Ignite. And there we go, GG Jessica Jung takes down the Lucian. Now she's going in on Thresh. Thresh knows he's not going to be able to do anything. Gets that flag, doesn't matter, he still ends up going down. And that is another double kill there for Caitlyn. So, things are not looking good at all for the blue team bot lane. And Lee Sin getting close to dying there, but it's on Wolves, so it doesn't really matter. Doesn't end up dying. And down here, we've actually got red buff going to Wukong. Actually, no, it didn't. Hold on. Yeah, it did go to Wukong. I thought so. But then I was like, well, Caitlyn has a red buff. But no, it did end up going to Wukong. Alright, so Ziggs is going back here. And looks like Cinder decided to head out. And, okay, Ziggs did as well. So he's actually pretty low here. Cinder's working her way around. There we go. She goes in, lands the stun on Ziggs. Gonna go ahead and slow him down. He flashes, though. And that means that he is actually going to escape this unless she does something really good. There's her ult. Nice barrier by Ziggs. And just completely negates the entire ulti there from Syndra. She thought she was going to be able to go ahead and slow him down so she'd be able to do some damage before he got into the tower. It didn't end up happening. She's picked up by this ward, so the next generation knows exactly where she's going. And she's going to go ahead and head top because she knows that she does not want to be around this. Lee Sin coming in to help if need be. Going to force them back from this red. No, Wukong's going to go in anyway. And Morgana's here. Going to go ahead and land the Dark Binding there on Lee Sin. Do a decent amount of damage as well with Tormented Soil. And that's going to be a blue buff there for Wukong. He manages to secure that, and they're going to go and get out of this with that extra blue buff. And Lee Sin was coming up here to go ahead and possibly help Zac if Zac needed it. Looks like he decided against it. And now Zac is actually trying his best to get these bloblets. And RF Legendary is doing his best to make sure Zac doesn't get said bloblets. This tower is just about dead. One auto attack, this tower is gone. So we may see a tower dive here from RF Legendary. Instead, he's going to go ahead and be forced back because Lee Sin's going in. Slow comes out from Lee Sin. He's going in on the Renekton. But we don't see much at all from Zac at the moment. So Renekton's easily able to get out of this with no problem. And now he's walking back in. Going to go ahead and stomp on these bloblets. Q misses there from Lee Sin. We've got the red team coming down here, setting up for Dragon. There's no response at all from the blue team. And there we go. Zac goes in. There's his ulti. RF Legendary is just doing a little bit of damage there. There we go. There goes his ulti. And he's going in and going to try to take down the Lee Sin. He does take down the Lee Sin. Nice flash there. And now he's doing some damage as well to Zac, who was taking some damage from the minions. Zac is getting really low. And he's going to go ahead and pop over, but he's still going to go down. There is his passive, and I do not think it's going to be able to recombine before RF Legendary takes him down. The Slice and Dice is able to finish him off, and that is another gank double kill there for RF Legendary. In the meantime, we had some action down here. We saw the red team going in on the Dragon. I commented on it earlier, and then it looks like they went ahead and went for the bot lane because these guys are massively overextended. Only now are they seeing the enemy in their wards. There we go. Wukong goes in. The Lantern pulls the Lee Sin over. They're going to jump. Not Lee Sin. Lucian. And they're going to jump over that. But Wukong is still able to do a lot of damage. And Caitlyn's able to mop them up with a double kill of her own. So that is 2 double kills there for the next generation. And nothing at all there for Battalion. Yeah, next generation definitely showing the strength of their team here, as they're just keeping Battalion on the defensive the entire time. Another tower goes down for next generation. They get that top tower, and that is all of the outer towers all gone now. So that's quite a bit of global gold there for red team, and holy cow, if you look at the gold totals here, 19.9 to 31.9. That, 31.9. Yeah, that is an 11k difference there. That's pretty huge this early in the game. These guys are just completely stomping it, and they're really, really strong, it looks like. Got Ziggs continuing to push this up. Cinder forced back, so this tower is going to take a little bit more damage. Ziggs is heading on over here. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. Just going to go ahead and do some harass to Lee Sin, and that's about it. That's all he was doing. In the meantime, RF Legendary doing some damage up here to the Zac, who did actually get the Sunfire Cape, which I 100% agree with. That armor is really good, especially versus Renekton. In goes Ziggs and Lee Sin. Lee Sin actually forced back, and now Zac's in a world of trouble here. He's going to try to take down the Ziggs before he dies. Doesn't end up happening. He goes down. Sorry, Zac. And Lee Sin's hanging around so that if... Oh, in comes the Syndra as well. There we go. Lee Sin's going in on the Ziggs. Going to go ahead and take him down. Syndra is being engaged on by Renekton. Renekton finishes her off, and now he's going after Lee Sin. Lee Sin already running away, lands that Q, but he does manage to go ahead and finish off Renekton. But in the meantime, these guys are still over here just pushing this up. Lucian goes down somehow. I'm not sure how. Thresh and Lucian were way the heck out here. I guess Wukong went ahead, went in, and there's his ulti. Pops up the Thresh. Down goes Thresh to Caitlyn. Caitlyn's continuing to chase down the Lucian here. Gonna go ahead and get the auto attacks. One more, and there we go. There's her ulti. Gonna go right through that barrier, and down goes the Lucian as well. So now Lee Sin's the only one up for the blue team Battalion. And that does give these guys some opportunity to go ahead and get some damage in on this tower. They're not going to be able to take it quite yet, although as soon as this minion wave gets here, I believe they will. There we go. The minion wave is here, and this tower is gone. Yep. Down it goes. So that is the second mid tower gone in the favor there of next generation. And now they're just roaming down. It kind of looks like they might be roaming down bottom. They're picked up by this ward, so the red team knows, or the Battalion knows that they are there. And they change their mind. They're just going to go ahead and push this wave back. Probably end up going back afterwards because I'd imagine by now they have quite a bit of gold. 1,300 there for Caitlyn. And only 650 there for the Morgana. So she must have recently gone back. But Caitlyn's getting pretty close to having another item, I would say. And what's she working on? Actually, she's not really working on anything. There we go. Zac goes in here. Lee Sin's coming in as well. The ulti comes out from Zac. Dark Binding misses. Now GG Jessica Jung trying his best to get out of this. They're going to go ahead and get tower dove here. Zac is taking up the tower. He's going to go down to GG Jessica Jung. Morgana's trying her best to get out of this. The Q there lands onto Lucian. Lucian goes down for a double kill for Caitlyn. That tower was able to go ahead and finish him off. He was tanking it, and that was a great Dark Binding there. Oh, the ulti! Down goes Lee Sin. The Ziggs ulti comes in slightly too late, and now the Dark Binding lands onto Thresh. Thresh is going to go down as well, and that is another kill there for these guys. That was pretty much a 2 for 4. Ziggs was coming in, but he really didn't do anything in that. That was all Morgana and Caitlyn. That was great. I really liked the Dark Bindings there, landing there under the tower, getting that kill there onto Lucian. We may be seeing a 20-minute surrender this game. We'll see what ends up happening, though. So the RF Legendary is just up here going in on the tower, getting it down to about half, and now he's going to go ahead and back off. Whereas the Caitlyn-Morgana combo, just going around through the enemy jungle, going to go ahead and grab up all the minions here, and then continue to push. Yeah, there we go. Lucian is forced back. Morgana's hanging out in this bush. She wants to go ahead and land another Dark Binding. Misses that one, but that's okay. And in the meantime, it looks like Ziggs went ahead and got engaged on by Lucian, or Lee Sin. Look! Q landed before the Ziggs bounced out, so he does actually get followed through. Misses that Q though. In comes the Cinder as well, and down goes the Ziggs. Wukong comes in. Gonna go ahead and finish off the Lee Sin there. Zac is getting pretty low. Renekton coming in as well. The Lantern is gonna go ahead and save Zac. And unless Renekton can get within range, I don't think it's going to happen. Cinder's going back right over here. She's going to be able to escape this with no problem. So that ended up being a 1-for-1, which isn't too bad for the red team for next generation, but they would definitely prefer not to be giving up kills because a lot of them are worth a lot of gold. Especially, I mean, Ziggs. Ziggs is only 1, 2, 3, so that's not really too much. Down goes another tower. Out comes the Caitlyn ulti. Gonna go ahead and finish off the Lucian. Thresh was not able to block it in time. And that is another kill there for GG Jessica Jung. Things are not looking good at all for Battalion. Zac coming in with that elastic slingshot. In goes Renekton. Gonna go ahead and ulti up, and he is just going in on the Syndra. She's trying her best to get out of it, but it's not gonna end up working. Caitlyn's able to finish off Thresh. Syndra is still trying to get out. Oh, there is the surrender. So she is actually going to live through this, and as expected, 20-minute surrender. So that is going to be the end of this game. Very well played by Next Generation. They just kept Battalion on their toes the entire time. Well, actually on the back of their feet. Yeah. Anyway, they just completely destroyed them, and that was really, really impressive to watch. So that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.